Hey everybody, it is Monkeypuzzle, and I'm bringing you another installment of my series of advanced building tips and tricks for ARK Survival Evolved. I am playing on the IronMine server as usual in Survival PVE, and today's topic is about storage. A storage idea I have of double-decker storage in a Dino warehouse, and I'd like to show you a little bit about placing chests. So, with no further ado, this is the warehouse idea, and what this is about is y'all know that moving materials in ARK can be very difficult because there's a real limit on how much weight that you can carry, and transferring stuff from your harvesting dinos to your chests can be a little difficult. Now, if you have to take it off and move it yourself on your own personal inventory, it can take quite a few trips. So what I thought was a good idea is having a storage facility that your dinos, the biggest dinos that you're going to harvest with, can actually come in, and then you can actually transfer stuff directly from your dino to your chest, or at least as much as possible. So here I've got a beaver cleaver, and she is full. So you can see that she is full of wood and thatch, more than I can carry. But the way I've got it set up, I can take all from inventory, and I'm overburdened. I can't move, but I'm in a position where I can reach directly into this chest, and now I can just use my T key to very quickly transfer everything over and do that again. And usually just in a couple attempts like this, just take all, and then just using the T to transfer all. I've got my inventory also down to the bottom like that, so as I transfer things, the position of it's not going to move, and I won't accidentally transfer over the rest of the stuff in my inventory. So that's one thing that just makes it really easy to go fill them up and put them directly into chests if you're not just making your building parts or whatever out in the field. The other thing I wanted to show is this double-decker system. I got these chests down here a little bit crooked when I put them in, but you can see that I'm getting twice the storage here, and I can reach both at the same time. So up there I had my wood and thatch in this instance, and down here I've got my stone. And so for making stuff, you know, you can go into this one and transfer a bunch of stone into your inventory, and then go up here and transfer a bunch of wood and thatch into your inventory and make your building parts, all standing from the same place. And from this position, I can reach 6 different chests. And to do this requires a basement down below. Here you can see I've got mine configured this way, where I can come in the bottom with a ramp. This basement also makes a really good place to hide all your wiring and your cabling and put other stuff. I put a light down here that shines through the floor. And it's also a good place to hide a little army of dillos or compies or something like that. It's just one wall high down here. So now let's run over to the other side, and I'll show you how to put this together. Let's just hop on Marlu here, take a quick run over to this side where I'm going to mirror the same thing. So I've got it set up to do it like that. You can see I've got my little one-story sub-basement here, and in this one I was able to do the whole thing because this side is much further off the ground than that side is. So let's place some chests real quick, and then I can show you a little bit about some placement tips here too. So it doesn't need to be in exactly this configuration. This is just what worked for me, but the main concept is having another ceiling just one wall height below, because the chests, the large storage boxes actually, they're slightly higher than one wall high, and that's what makes this work. So I can't quite reach the end from here, so let's get down here and let's get this first one placed as well as we can. So in this instance, I want it to be over to the left as much as possible, close to where I'm going to be standing, instead of over here. I have placed the walls behind and next to it already because those affect the positioning of these large wooden storage boxes. So you can see if I go back a little bit, it turns red because it can't go there. So we'll bring it forward slightly just till it turns green. Take it over to the left as far as we can with it being green. Now you can only get it so precise from the first person view. Switching to the K mode, the more cinematic view here, can help because now we can look from above and see how that lines up, and you can tell much more easily that it's not straight. Now you can't change the angle of it in this position from this view mode, the K mode, but you can change the X and the Z. So you can go forward, you can go backward. So we take it back, take it there, and then go back into first person by pressing K again, and then we can rotate. So I'm just rotating it ever so slightly counterclockwise in this instance. Didn't quite get it, so we'll go back to first person, do it again, and need to do it just a little bit more. Being a little sloppy there, but takes time. The main trick with this is just being patient, because if you get the first one right, it's going to help a lot with the next ones. So I think I just need to rotate it slightly clockwise now. So just ever so slightly, and see how that is. I think I need to do it one more time. And that's pretty good. At least it's as close as you're going to get it for ARK tolerances. And just trying to get it snugged in there as much as I can. So that's great. So I'm going to go ahead and place that. Oops. Still in K mode. The first click actually gives you the option to rotate a little bit. So now I'm going to do the second click, and there it's in place. Now without moving at all, I'm going to press the slot, 6th slot in this case, that it was in, and it's going to put a ghost image right in the same space as your first one. Now all I have to do is back up until it turns green, and I know that it's going to be aligned with that first one. So let's go ahead and place that, double click real quick so it doesn't rotate again. Going to press 6 again and just back up again. Get it till it just turns green. Double click, press 6 again, back up till it just turns green. And I'm just going to trust from here that it's in the right position. And I'm going to do it one more time. Can't quite look from above anymore because the ceiling's above my head. But as long as I don't go back in the first person, I'm not going to rotate, right? So red to green. And let's see if we can do it one more time. I've lost count how many I placed in there. Yeah, I can get one more in. Just turns green. Okay, and then let's see how that went. They look pretty good from here. Let's go up here and check that out. So, yeah, that's not bad. They're all aligned with each other. Pretty well aligned with the floor here. So that's just a quick way. I could have got them a little closer together in between here. In this case, that's all right because I wanted to absorb a little space right here so I can't fall through. But yeah, so not perfect. These first 3 are pretty good. Those are a little farther apart, but that just gives you a sense of some placement tricks. Now from here, what I would do is go ahead and place the ceiling here and the ceiling here, and then go place the walls behind them. It actually will help in this case in order to be able to get up in here. There's also another row of them that would fit right here. I actually should have placed those first now that I think about it, because it's going to be hard to do it with these in the way. But that's all right. We're going to leave that there for now. And then oh, actually, it's not in the kangaroo. In heavy, over here, I've got some ladders. So let me just grab a ladder real quick, because it will help a lot to get up here. So we're just going to place a temporary ladder, pull it out so that we can get up it. And let's go ahead and finish placing the walls around here, because again, they're going to affect the placement of the boxes. And then in this case, let's place the boxes that I should have placed first from this side, the ones that are going to be the shorter leg of this placement. So again, in first person, we're going to get as close as we can. I'm going to put them right on the edge so I can reach from below. Now let's go into K and see how that does. The thing shifts position slightly when you change view modes, but you can adjust. I think I need to rotate counterclockwise just a little bit, so we're going to try to do that as little as my mouse will allow me. And that's pretty good, I'd say. So staying in this mode, I'm just going to double click, press 6 again where my storage boxes are. I'm going to go to there. Now this is the place I was least precise before. It's partly because my movement speed is so high. You could go into first person and do it more precisely, but then you risk changing the angle. So we're just going to stay in K and do it as best we can here. And I say that's pretty good. So you can, in this particular configuration, I can place 3 here, and then get out of that mode. And over here, I've got 6. So I'm getting 9 in each of these. Actually, I can fit 1 more. So I'm going to be able to get 10 in each of these. Now here I've already placed it. I got to find that position again. The best way to do that is using the ghost image while it's still in red, place it on top of the other one. Get it so that both sides disappear evenly into the previous chest. About right there. So I'm going to go into K. Now the trick is I'm probably going to fall off here when I do this. See if I can pull it off. Just till it turns green. Get it real snug. And there it is. Cool. So now I could go ahead like I did down here and place those coming this way. And so I'm going to get 10 down here, 10 up there. So that's 20. So this whole little warehouse area that my dinosaurs can enter are going to be able to contain 80 large wooden storage boxes. That's a lot of storage. And here it all is, mostly put together. Looks a lot like the one over there. Now, I did manage to get 7 on the side and the long side, so there's 11 on each level, so we've got 11 times 8, which is 88 large wooden storage boxes. I don't know exactly how this compares to if you tried to stack vaults in a similar way. I know that would be much more expensive. We're not doing PvP here, so I don't have to worry about other tribes breaking my stuff. So this is just a good, cheap way to get a lot of storage, all packed in really densely in a way that you can access directly with your dinos. So when I roof this, I'll definitely do it like over there where they can all come in. I can get a Bronto in and unload from the Bronto. I did leave this last level undone because I realized as I was placing all these other ones that I had given you all the simplified version of how to place these just to make it more straightforward. The long version is that, or at least a couple more nuances are that, okay, you do the rough placement in the first person. You can use the K to get different angles to see how well it lines up with your walls and such. But you can see this one's still a little crooked, but it is pretty much on the edge there, so that's good. So if I left click once now, I can get the option to rotate. So you can do rotate in the K mode after you've left clicked once. And then left click again. Now you can hear that one. I was able to get that into position. The disadvantage of this is now when I press my hotkey again for this, it's going to carry on the angle that it was at before it rotated. So you'll have to correct the alignment once more. So it adds more of a freehand element to it. I get where it's green. These ones here, I don't need to get that close. So I can leave a little bit of space. Now let me finish this side and I'll get around to the other leg and I'll show you one more thing. Okay, so I got that side done. Now this side, to get to 7, like that, needs to be as tight as possible. So let's get the first one down. So we're in the first person mode. We're going to do the best we can. Just back away from the wall. Just enough so it's not red anymore. Now, in this mode, you can move your mouse back and forth without moving your character. And that gives you the finest control of, more so than in this mode, the K mode. I can only move things by walking back and forth. And there's a limit to how tightly I can do things like that. So let's go in here. Let's get the angle right again. And move over a little bit. So let's make sure our angle is good. We're going to correct it as much as possible by going back and forth between the two modes. That's looking pretty good, so I know it's pretty straight there. Now what we're going to do is, assuming it's pretty straight, I'm just going to back it up to the wall just until it turns red. And that's as tight as I'm going to get. I'm going to press it once. I'm going to press K. And I'm going to do that little rotation thing from above. And try to get it just perfect. Which it's not. But anyway, so now if I press 5, which, you know, that's the number that these are in, and back up, problem is I don't get as fine tuning as I would like for placing them as close as possible to each other. So I'm going to get it pretty good. That's pretty straight. And then I'm going to go to this mode again. And I'm just going to back it up until it turns red. And just bring it out till it turns green. And go ahead and place it there. So that's going to be pretty tight. The problem is when I do it that way, there is another freehand element to it. So we can get some angles going on. It's not precisely perfect. You just do the best you can. So the first way I showed you was more perfect with each other. This way is just tighter, right? Which is what I need for this. So let me get out to the very last one. I'm going to place the rest of these. And then once I get out there, I'm going to show you one more trick I didn't show you before. Alright, I got 4 of them down, and they're pretty tight. You can see some imperfections, but we're going to let that ride. The last thing I want to show you is when you get to this point, it helps a lot to just put an extra roof for a while. Just use thatch because it's cheap. Because at this point, while I'm backing up and placing them, I'm going to step off of this and fall down. And that won't work at all. So now I have enough space that in this mode I can back up and use that thatch roof in order to help me position these even better. I'm getting a little angle that I'm going to have to correct at this point. I'm going to throw them a little off, but it's going to keep it more precise in the long run. The difference in the placement between the two modes can be a little disconcerting. But there it is. There's that next one. I've got 2 more to go. And that will be it. So thank you very much for joining me. This is Monkeypuzzle. I'm placing boxes. Hope some of this was helpful to you. And as usual, if you have any information to share that wasn't covered in this, if you can contribute to this, please do. Because I share what I know, but I always learn a lot from you all. So look forward to those comments below. In the meantime, this is Monkeypuzzle, doing the best I can. Place these boxes, and I'm going to sign off right now. Bye-bye.